Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. What is going on, everybody? I am Chris Knight, and this is Chaos Central's Andor Roundtable. Austin is not going to be here tonight. Nindroid might be here. Not sure yet. He said he was going to be. Hey, David, how you doing? Good to see you. Make sure you grab that link up above and share out the stream. I do have a tweet. It should be my pinned tweet, guys, if you guys want to go there and share that out also. And Shifty keeps coming with the what? Oh my god! Just. Oh my god! I swear.
Rest in peace, Tim Conway.
What was that?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Tim Conway. Rest in peace, Tim Conway.
Yeah, I know. I heard you. I'm just still shaking my head at your avatar.
Yeah, next week's Star Trek related.
Yes, I know you said this, and I'm almost tempting to be fearful of it already. What's going on, everybody? We're gonna go around, talk to Shifty and Positive, and hopefully Nindroid can come in later. If not, hey, we'll get this done fairly quick. But Shifty, tell everybody about yourself, and then Positive, just go right after him because Shifty's gonna say I'm Shifty, and that's it. But go ahead, Shifty.
Yeah, I'm Shifty. We're running against the clock. Name it tunes at 10 o'clock. So everybody who's listening, tune in an hour. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, cool. Positive
Candor. Check me out on Twitter at Positive Candor or on YouTube at Positive Candor.
Okay, fair enough. And I am Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000 is my channel. Weekly wrap up, the Rumble, Name That Tune, this. The 3 shows during the week on Chaos Central, just tons of stuff going on, and somewhere I think I live someplace. I'm not sure because I'm always coming and going. It's like the donut guy. It's time to make the donuts. I've already made the donuts. So I
haven't thought about that in decades.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. You should have. I really am not happy that you haven't. That man is probably dead and buried, gone, and you're just not remembering him.
Well, at least I remember Dorf. Dorf on donuts.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Okay, we're going to talk about episode 8, right? No, 9. This is episode 9.
Yeah.
It was episode 9.
I think so.
Nobody's listening. And let's start with overall thoughts. Go ahead. Positive, you start.
Yeah, another episode that's moving the story along ever so slowly, but at least we're getting more more things revealed, basically.
Okay. Shifty?
Okay, this is a long one, but let me tell you something. This wasn't slow, man. This thing really moved this week. I thought. I mean, my God, and it was super. Seemed like it was a super popular episode on Twitter. As I said in the Twitter group, I think the showrunners watch our stream, and Andor is actually produced within 48 hours, like South Park, as they immediately shot down my theory about Mon Mothma's daughter from last week, while going with Austin expectations of more cereal consumption. Not only did he eat more cereal, but him eating cereal was the main image on the home screen of Disney Plus when you logged in that night. I thought that was super funny. But yeah, I thought I was really onto something with her daughter working with her running surveillance. As I recall, the line Mothma had said the week before in an episode when she revealed that only 3 people had knew about what she was doing in the galaxy. That was Luthen, his assistant Clea, and I thought it was her daughter, but no, we found out this week it was actually her cousin, which turned out to be Vale. Also, last week we collectively overlooked that there was a Rogue One team member, Melshi. He was in Andor's prison group. None of us noticed that. I forgot that character even existed because I only saw the film twice after it hit streaming. So at least 2 people is going to survive next week's prison break. The sound team actually created a recording of that Dissonite massacre used to torture Bix in this episode, but they ultimately didn't include it because they felt it was a bit too much for Star Wars. That was interesting when I heard that. All the folks on Twitter have been shipping Cyril and Dedra last week. That was amusing. But this week, it turned out to be super creepy after their exchange. Too many serial leads to be elevated levels. Okay, I done stumbled on that one. I'm reading from my notes. So
Keep going.
Okay, I'm going on. Okay, next topic here. We got word that despite poor viewership numbers, season 2 is still on. It begins filming in 2 weeks. And Tony Gilroy confirmed that it'll feature Yavin 4, so that's going to be something to look forward to. Also, possible good news as there was been reports going around that the viewership numbers have supposedly risen to near Mandalorian levels of interest. So that's really interesting. I don't see how that could be possible, but I mean, like I told Chris on Twitter, all I'm seeing is just people praising the show left and right. So, I don't know if I hit that sweet spot in the algorithm for the show or if it's really, that popular now. I also saw a report that the Bix actress hinted that there may be more Rogue One spinoffs in the works. So that'll be something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Great. I'm going to say this. This episode was very well thought out. They didn't leave Cyril out in the proverbial limbo land that he has been in. He is starting to push, which is good. I like that. And the other thing I'll say right now is that it ended in a way I don't think anybody saw coming. And not that it was a strange, weird ending. It just, the way they did it was just right, I think. So that was my thoughts. I really did like this episode, though. Okay, let's start with, let's go to likes. I will start with you, Shifty. What are your likes?
Okay, let's see. Let me scroll down here. Dedra's initial interrogation scene with Bix was really good. Hopefully Disney uses that particular scene for Denise Gough's Emmy consideration clip. I know there's been a little disagreement on if this show's going to get nominated or anything. I think it's probably going to do very well with the nominations next year. I don't know if they'll win any, but I think it's going to do very well next year. We had a callback after that scene to Star Wars 77 after they put the headset on Bix, as it mimicked the shot of the Imperial Guard exiting Leia's cell when Vader used the interrogation droid back in that first film. I thought that was really neat. I did Cassian paying close attention to the process in which they introduce a new prisoner to the workroom He was being super observant of what was electrified and what was not. Where that one dude was touching the railing and he didn't get electrified. That was a great attention to detail. I'm not exactly sure what he was doing behind that panel when he took his break, though. I don't know if he was just trying to get another piece of metal off there so they can make a weapon. I freaking love the corridor scene where everybody started freaking out over what supposedly happened on level 2. That was great tension, great music. There's nothing like this on television. I mean, outside maybe Squid Game has some sort of vibes, the same sort of vibes. But yeah, it's really a really unique show, especially in this storyline. And the second corridor scene, the next shift, Circus freaking killed it. The fear in his eyes, while it's still managing to keep his men in line. Again, Emmy-worthy stuff. Who's also great? Cyril's mom. I could watch a show just her giving her son shit while he eats cereal. But it's pretty lame that she was snooping in his private box, though. I mean, I wonder what he's got in his private box. I bet it's a collection of cereal boxes.
You're having a hard time separating cereal from cereal.
It's my accent, man. It's my southern accent. But I wonder what he's got in his special box. I bet you it's a collection of cereal box toys. Remember those cool neon green octopuses Kellogg's used to give us, where you just toss them at the refrigerator and they just roll down? Or those little submarines you put baking soda in and they sunk to the bottom of the bathtub? Those were cool. Kids don't know what they're missing nowadays. So those
are dangerous. They're going to eat them and die. I don't know. That's stupid.
Well, I mean, those were the dangers of living in the 80s. But yeah, the big revelation of what happened on level 2 was some serious shit. And that final line, never more than 12, had people marking out all over Twitter with memes and reaction videos. I swear to God, this show has to be popular with all the feedback I saw off of that, just off of that one line. The next week is going to be amazing. I mean, because we got two things that's going to pop off. I mean, the prison break and the possible uprising on Ferrix, because they're supposed to hang that one dude. Something big's going to happen.
Indeed, I don't disagree with that at all. What's going on down there? Positive. What do you like about this episode?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything he said, obviously. But yeah, I thought, again, I'm paying more attention to the other characters than and or, but because I find their stories more interesting. Again, but the prison thing, unfortunately, we had the old timer die this episode, and I thought it was interesting in that particular part to me that there's nobody's getting out of there. It doesn't matter how many. If you're down to one day, one shift left, you're not getting out, because obviously they said something about transferring a prisoner to level 2 from level whatever, and then they got rid of all the people on level 2. I guess when they found out they figured out, hey, nobody's ever getting out of this prison. Basically, I guess once your time's up, basically they just transfer you to a different level. It sounded like is what they were saying there to me. So yeah, obviously there's now, and even Andy Serkis, his character realizes that there's only one way out of there, and that's escaping. Now, no matter or dying, So you either try to escape or you die trying to escape, pretty much, and that's about it. So yeah, I thought the whole prison scene, which takes up a bulk of the episode, the whole deal with that, and then them discovering just different things, basically through the grapevine, and even the med tech that came in to, basically euthanize the old timer there. He basically told him, man, nobody's getting out of here. Nobody's leaving. So I thought that was interesting, just that whole ordeal with them and everything. Um, and then the whole Bix interrogation. Yeah, that did remind me of Princess Leia's interrogation way back when in A New Hope. In a way, it's just that they obviously use different means earlier on, until I guess they don't need a doctor anymore. All they need is that floating hypodermic needle robot thing that zooms in on her. And
It's a probe droid. Or an interrogation droid, I think is what they call them. But
yeah. But
okay.
but yeah, it was still similar enough that you could that was a a big callback towards the original Star Wars. But I also thought it was interesting the little headset thing that they put on her. I guess it basically makes you crazy with whatever kind of sounds it does in your mind or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was definitely a weird interrogation technique by, I guess, the Empire and that doctor specifically, I guess, because we never seen, I guess, anything quite like that. So I'm sure that it was probably worse than the original edit, but they had to edit it down to make it more passable for audiences and stuff like that. But I thought it was just enough, and she basically told him everything about Cassian. So obviously, whatever methods they're using work. And they're going to make an example by hanging the one guy, and I think that's going to lead to the uprising. Plus, his mom probably passing away too in the next episode or two. I would say to the most is going to happen, but and then they had the Mon Mothma scene with the one lady who apparently got all the way from Ferrix to Coruscant in whatever span of difference between the last episode and this episode was. So, saying that it was her, niece or something like that, or aunt, or I forget what the relationship was, what they
Cousin.
said, but
I think. Wasn't it cousin?
yeah, or maybe cousin, but
Yeah,
something like
cousin.
that. Okay. But I still thought that their conversation was interesting as well. Um, what they talked about and everything, because that's basically the only Mon Mothma scene that we got in this. Basically, them talking the most. She did talk to her old flame real quickly, and her daughter for a little bit and stuff like that. But those were the two primary ones talking and everything. So again, giving us little tidbits here and there, until I guess we'll see if she's back on Ferrix this next episode, I guess, or whatever. But so I like I like the way this story is evolving a lot.
Okay. I would say, oh boy, I don't know. The interrogation scene was interesting. I won't say I liked it, but it was interesting. What I really like right now is all the tension they're building up. So what they've done is they've got 3 or 4 different, well, I would say at least 3 scenarios going on right now that are about boiling point. There is the one on Ferrix. There's the one at the prison, and then there's the one with Mothma. That situation's at a boiling point because they're discussing this money and what can we do? We have to bring in this gangster and all this other stuff. And I think that all of that really adds a huge appeal to the show, because it almost feels like all of that's going to just go boom, 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 boom at one time. Now, I'd almost say that the Empire investigation team and the serial part is close to that, but I don't really feel that tension yet in that, until I think what happens is the other three go off pretty quickly in succession, and that's when his story will take off more. But I like that tension in all of these different levels right now. So I think they're doing a really good job on that. The prison scenes are really interesting, because you can tell that Andor has gotten really comfortable there, and he's willing to talk about, trying to break out, and he's trying to get the team leader guy to tell him information so he can formulate this escape. And at first, of course, the guy's like, no, I'm going to be out of here soon. And then, hey, Level to Sherry, how you doing? Good to see you. And I think that the progression in that one scene in that one storyline did really well from one to the next in this particular episode. The cereal stuff, I really liked that, because again, I'm glad they didn't put him back in limbo land eating cereal at his mom's spot. He is really forcing the issue now. So what's funny is he almost reminds me of I forget the name of the character in the Joker, but the guy that plays Joker, how he has this view of the world in his head. He heard her say that he was valuable, or that what he did.
About Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, whatever the main character though, and what the Joker's name is in the movie is what I mean. Arthur, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay.
The way
Fleck.
he has what?
Arthur Fleck.
Yeah, Arthur Fleck. He had a skewed point of view of what the world was, and we found out at the end, no, that's not like it. Cyril doesn't have like that skewed view of it, but he hears certain things and he takes it. He thinks that she was like trying to give him code of, oh, you're really, you're onto something, and he's trying to force the issue. Again, I do think that he will, I think it'll play into the whole storyline eventually. So I like how they're doing that. The stuff on Ferrix is this episode wasn't as interesting as it has been. So, I don't know, but I just like the overall feel of all the storylines right now. And they're all, again, 3 episodes. We're all getting together right now, and they're starting to come together, and everything's really as slow as the series was to begin with. It's all starting to make sense and move really quick now. So, those are some of the things I liked. What do we not like? Start with you, Positive. Tell them what you didn't like.
I guess in a way, just again, it's pretty methodical and slow in a way. Spending a lot of time and exposition on stuff that I hope the payoff's worth it, because I'm sure we're not going to go back. This better be the last time he's in prison. That's all I can say. Otherwise, he really will be the unluckiest character ever. So yeah, when he gets out this time, yeah, he better not do anything stupid, basically. And yeah, I don't know. It felt. It feels like the credits are getting longer, even though the episode length is the same. So, but because it seems like even though it's like a 50-minute episode, it's maybe 38 minutes of the show and at least 12 minutes or so credits. So that's another kind of beef in a way. No, it's not major, but it seems like they're just kind of teasing you a little bit, but holding out on the main deal kind of thing. just giving you enough to watch again next week. They kind of stringing you along, kind of deal, you know. So I don't know. That's my major gripe with it, I guess.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I mean, no, I mean, that's the main thing. Is yeah, they're just like I said, just giving little tidbits here and there, revealing just enough to keep you interested in watching it next week, basically.
Okay. Shifty, what didn't you like?
Okay, I love the prison storyline, but it does have some plot armor. I mean, especially with what's happening on level 2. How did the Empire expect that to go down smoothly, moving the dude down to level 4, or the dude from level 4 down to level 2, without him, telling everybody? I mean, it would just have been better for them to like just kill the guy. I mean, how's it going to work in any situation? So there's a lot of plot armor around that you got to overlook. And while I realize this show isn't about fan service, I'm still disappointed that they blur out all the other Senate pods instead of including some familiar alien species in the background as Mom Mothra.
Well, they didn't blur them out. They
but
focus, but the ones they showed, they were leaving.
And they're just human people for the most part.
Let me stress here that a lot of the people you might think are still in the Senate probably aren't, because a lot of them probably were. If you've watched the Clone Wars and Bad Batch and other stuff, we know that they start taking these guys out. The ones that aren't just going to be cooperative at all, or the ones that are too greedy. Because if you're too greedy, you're not going to do what the Emperor wants you to do. And if you're too stubborn, not following suit, those two people. So we know that they're killing them off. And if you watch Tales of the Jedi, again, we know that this is happening. So by this time, the few that you might recognize, that's not the important thing in this. And I'm sorry, I'm just pointing out what I think about that. They're leaving because nobody cares anymore. At this point, they know they're not really in charge. So if they do care, they just leave because they know it won't make a difference. The ones who are on the side of the Empire are going to not listen to her. They don't care. So there's a lot of just disarray going on now. And I think that plays right into the Andor Rogue One storyline into Star Wars when we find out he dissolves the Senate. So I mean, even though it's not recognizable species, I just kind of wish they would like make new species and like stick them around there. Like, oh, who's that? Let me guess. You just want to see the ETs again. You want to actually see the ETs participate in the Senate stuff, right?
Here's an example. The first 3 episodes, they had this dude on Ferrix, an alien dude that was just walking around real funny in the background, just going to work about his day. I loved that. He was just walking around, and then later, after he stopped walking, he starts shaking his head and stuff. And I immediately gravitated to that because it was a cool design for like it's a new alien species in the background there. And I'm just looking at him and I'm like, why is he shaking his head? What's going on with his day? I mean, I'd like to see something like that in the other spots in the show, like the Senate or and the time jump last week. And certain scenes, they still feel weird now in retrospect. Vel was on Coruscant after the heist, ordered to track down and kill Cassian, waits 2 months before heading to Ferrix, leaves, then heads back to Coruscant to visit her cousin. I think they kind of jumbled up some of those scenes and switched them around because they don't really line up like you would think they should. So that's like my only real gripe.
Because she talked to her in one she was there on
she was there
in one episode, and now she's gone. But they left. The two of them met and then left. They went to Ferrix, and now I think what is her name?
Vel.
Vel, yeah. Vel, I think, is the one that goes and makes sure other people are doing stuff. And so, I think she's more the mover and shaker of things. So she's the one that jumps around a lot. So it made sense to me, I think. So anyways, go ahead.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, that's it?
Yep. There's not much to hate.
No, and so I'm going to go back to the interrogation scene. I don't know. This one maybe bothers me because I'm not really sure exactly why. If it's the way it was done or the fact that I think that they're putting more emphasis on a character that we don't know much about. I don't know. And I won't say it's a dislike. I just say it's bothersome how they're doing it. So anyways, there's that. Man, I don't know if there's anything I absolutely don't like in this right now. In this episode. That was I'm not sure. I really don't think there is right now. And it isn't that I couldn't find something. Like the serial stuff still in some places is just clunky and stuff. But it's getting better. So, but I don't even think it's worth talking about that. Real quick, Basel, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Share out the stream, guys. Still, we got one more section to go. There is a poll up there.
Well, a lot of people on Twitter had problems with the Cyril and Dedra scene this week because it kind of crossed the line in some ways for some folks.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, there was kind of the stalker-esque thing going on, like almost like they're making him a little crazy stalkerish type of, ooh, I love you. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's that he thinks she wants more from him and is trying to send him a coded message. That's kind of what that encounter seemed like. He thought she was saying, hey, I can't let you do this, but I know that you can help us. And that's what you said it yourself. I can do the and so, I think that was maybe misconstrued a little bit. But it kind of probably that sets some people in a weird way as the interrogation thing set me a weird way. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe because I know how the sound stuff can really fuck with your head. And I'm not sure if that character has enough information to really help because it's already been determined. She doesn't really know who the guy is. She doesn't really know much about it. She's just a waypoint for these guys. And the fact that, she just, I don't think she deserved it. Maybe that's the thing. But we'll see. Let's talk about our grades and final thoughts. And I will get that poll up right now. We'll start with you, Shifty, again. Go ahead.
Solid A. I would grade it higher, but I got to leave room for next week, which I think is going to be even better. Shit's going to pop off big time in the next ep. I just, they're going to have the prison break, but I really think something's going to go down on Ferrix when they hang Salmon Park or Pock or whatever his name is. The townsfolk won't stand for that. And I think Marva, even though she's sick, I think she's going to make a sacrifice to light a fire under their butts. I think she's going to charge the building or something, and it's going to set the whole thing off. Something's going to happen. It's going to be like a big episode, probably the biggest we've had so far.
Okay. And any predictions on how that's going to happen?
Like I said, I just think she's going to go charged.
I mean, so wait, okay, that's what she's going to do. But what do you think about the prison break? What do you think that's going to do?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think maybe the tech section clue from a few episodes back might come into play because of why did they reveal that? Where they were understaffed in the tech section. I still don't know what Andor was doing behind that panel. He was sawing on that, on something in there. I don't know what he's trying to do there, but I think Mr. Gollum is going to get his crew together and he's going to tell them what's what.
That's not. You keep saying. Who do you think? Okay, never mind. You say Andy Skarsgård's in this, right?
Huh? No,
Who
Andy
you said?
Serkis.
Andy Serkis. That's right. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Never mind. No. Go. Keep going.
No, I think he's just going to tell his people, this is what's what, and this is what happened, and we ain't going to stand for it. We're going to get the hell out of here.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's going to be awful.
Well, I mean, we could have a scene where Cyril starts flicking cereal at stormtroopers and knocks them out that way, but make them more incompetent or something. Waiting for that scene basically now.
Oh my God.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the Boba Fett thing for me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You listen. As long as you don't change your avatar to do this stuff he's doing right now, I have a feeling next week it's going to be a one and done for him, and he's going to be out, and I'll just have him type everything in the private chat, and I'll just read it.
What?
No, go ahead. What? Did I say something? Go ahead. Positive.
Okay. And then yeah, I don't know. I mean, they better come up with something good for how they're going to break out of there. They better make it semi-believable as to how they get out of there.
Well,
I mean,
I
think the key is obviously, look, you got how many tables in that room?
7
like
or
a dozen, 8, whatever. And you got 8 people per table, right? At least.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 times 8, say the minimum 64 is way more than 12. Okay, so obviously that's how you take out the guards. If you have more people than guards, duh. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, but I think the thing is, even after they escape, that I'm kind of, because we saw that the thing that gets me though is that scene where he presses whatever the hell device he has, and they all drop to their knees and in extreme pain. What happened to that?
They still have it.
No, but that's what I mean. If they still have it, why didn't they use it? Why didn't they use it? In Rogue One. Did they forget about it?
Because it's not.
It only works with the electrified floor.
I think they said, didn't they say that it's the planet has that core and they just harness it or something? I don't know. I can't remember the exact thing. Anyways,
okay, so if it's just a certain deal just because of the planet, okay. But still, it makes, if you have something implanted into you, how, unless the Empire or the Rebels take it out somehow. But, yeah. I guess we'll see.
What grade would you give it?
What grade? I'll still keep it as a B for now because nothing super exciting has happened yet. They're just giving us more exposition until the whole thing comes together, pretty much.
Can I chime in with something?
Okay.
Hello. Yeah. Can I chime in with something? Okay. Something just hit me. They, instead of, escaping, they've got to get to the command center because, the command center controls like the floors and stuff during the lockdowns and stuff. So they got to go to the command center, and then they got to let all the other, places loose. They got to deactivate all those electrical floors. But here's what I'm wondering about. When we saw them enter the planet, there's like several different prisons. Are they different prisons or just connected to that one? Because there was like 5 of them.
We know that the underground is probably all open, and that's probably different towers and different ways to bring them in. And actually, the one they're in, I think it's all, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is separate ones, but I don't know. Maybe they are just giant rings all the way down or something. Who knows?
And once they get out,
maybe we'll see that. Anyways, anything else?
They need a
Positive?
shuttle.
Nothing else. Anything else positive?
No. I mean, I'm just waiting to see how they bring it all together and hope that it's good, basically.
Okay. So I'm going to give it an A because while I understand where you're going positive, and I have said this about several shows, I've even said it kind of about this show. I've said it about, unfortunately, She-Hulk. This episode really didn't seem to. It did add exposition, but it feels like what they're doing is they're catching all of this stuff into a bubble, and it's just gonna burst. And so I feel it. Most of the time when I say things like it just didn't do anything to me, when you say that, I think that means literally, yes, it did. It helped set up more story or more exposition. But this literally just feels like they stopped right before they're going to let all this shit hit the fan. Like literally, I could have seen what's going to happen next. So if they don't do it, then okay, I'm going to go back on that A and say, well, obviously, no. But I think the next 3 episodes, and very well what they could do with 3 more episodes, is wrap up Coruscant all in one, because Cyril and the investigators are there, and so is Mon Mothma. Then they could wrap up Ferrix, and they could wrap up the Prison Break. Or they could do, like, Prison Break first. He goes to Ferrix to get his mom, and that all happens then in the next one. I feel like they can do these 3 episodes as more in depth in one area. So I just feel like it's more than just exposition. I feel like there's really the tensions there. It's the moment to just drop everything and let's just boom. That's how I feel. Now, if they don't do that, we can talk about that next week.
Also, we got to consider that they said there's going to be a sizable time jump for the next season. So
yeah, well, they're
also
5 years before Rogue One, so you figure 2.5 years or more. And actually, they did say that season 2 would end up basically right where Rogue One starts. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bring what's her name back that played Jyn Erso, and like almost do the point where it shows the breakout of her. And that's where they end it. That would be a good way to do it. Now we're talking way far in advance. But anyways, hey, Poe, what's going on? Good to see you.
Do we think K2SO is going to appear in the next episode?
I say last episode of this season.
I do think this season that'll happen, but I do think it's a possibility because of the prison. Mm-hmm. But we know he's reprogrammed, so he's going to have to be captured somehow. Or either be in like someplace where he had a bug or something, and they're trying to fix him, like in a maintenance area, and that's where they find him, perhaps. Anyways, so I think a lot of this is just leading up to craziness. I don't have any clue. I still think Cyril's going to have a much bigger part than he already has. I think that the breakouts, I'm not sure if they're going to break everybody out, but yes, they have to get to a control center. But that's why the boots were zoomed on. Again, that's called foreshadowing. He knows the boots are there. If they can get 1 or more guards down there, one thing that, you know, as a person with who I would look at this is okay, they want to turn the floor on, get up on the tables. I mean, that seems like the easy way to do things. So, anyways, you know, I think that it's going to be interesting. I don't know if they all have to go, but we'll see. With that said, guys, I don't know. Let's see what the poll said. Let me see if enough people have voted. 14 votes. Okay, cool. We're going to go through, and the polls were, what did you think of this episode of Andor? Loved it. It was okay. Why, or hated it. That's kind of interesting. Love it got 56%. It was okay got 25%. Why, 12%. So I don't know. And then hated it 6%. So interesting. Do you feel the last 3 episodes will be fun? Will be full of action and excitement? 66% said yes. 33% said no. I would say a lot of movement, maybe not a lot of excitement, but a lot of movement. I don't know yet. And then last is the grade. A or A minus got 57%. B minus, B or B plus got 28%. C minus, C or C plus got 7%. And F, D minus or D plus, D or D plus got 7%. So very interesting. That's the first F I think we've seen this whole time, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a crazy person in the chat.
Yeah, it happens. So, with that said, guys, thank you very much for everybody watching this. We're going to move over to Hanstar's channel and do Name That Tune here next. So be ready for that. Go over there, enjoy the fun times we have over there. I'm going to go upstairs, get a beer and stuff, and just sit back and relax. We're going to go and have you guys talk about yourselves again. Positive. Tell everybody about yourself, please.
Positive Candor. You can check me out on Twitter and YouTube at Positive Candor.
Okay, fair enough. Shifty?
I'm Shifty, and who cares about me? Just everybody that's listening, please join us for Name That Tune over on Hanstar's channel. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And if you feel like you would like to play the game sometime, get in touch with Chris. We'll get you on next season, or maybe you could be an alternate this season if there's room. Who knows? Just join us. Join us. It's so much fun.
Right there. Name that tune. All right, guys. I'm Chris Knight. Real Review 3000 is a channel. I'm over on Hanstar's channel. I'm over here at Chaos Central. Real Review 3000. I like to jump around, do a lot of different things. I stuff in things and stuff. That's what I do. But with that said, I appreciate everybody who's been watching this. Numbers have been steady. I appreciate that. And yeah, well, guys, everybody, I guess it's time to say bye-bye. Everybody say
bye-bye.